What's going on, guys? Just here, about to build one of my, Mega Constructs builds. But you know what time it is. It's time for that retro game of the week. What's going on, guys? Welcome to this edition of Retro Game of the Week. This week I'll be talking about a game that transcended video games like worldwide. This game came out and it just like changed the face of video games as well as the culture and the genre that this video game represents. It dropped in the arcade in 1991 and we didn't see it until home console here in North America until 92. That game is Street Fighter 2. As you know, like that opening scene which you're about to see right here, two people just about to throw down and one gets knocked upside his ass and then boom, there you go, Street Fighter 2. 8 characters, Ryu, Ken, E Honda, Blanca, Zangief, Guile, Chun-Li, and Dhalsim. Choose one of those 8 characters. It's very linear. It's just one-on-one competition. You have the best out of 3 rounds, and you have some special kind of like special stages in the beginning. It's like bonus stages where you destroy a car, you destroy barrels coming down from like a warehouse, wood barrels, and then you have a pyramid of bricks that you gotta destroy in a certain amount of time. At least 30 seconds. You got to destroy that we can get some extra bonus points so that you can brag about high score bragging rights. But 8 players. Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior. So basically, like you go around being the best in the world at fighting. Street beef, basically, because you got Chun-Li's stage specifically. You're literally fighting in the middle of the street while people are selling fish and food and stuff behind you. And when I said it changed the world, like even pop culture, even comedians, even like different people bring up references to Street Fighter. What I said about Chun-Li's stage is a comedian who literally makes a joke about that, like how the background people are there eating while 2 other people are just getting it on fighting in the middle of the street. You go around, I said 8 characters, fight 7 of them, depending on who you choose. Well, not depending. You choose one person, you fight 7 of them, because you don't fight yourself, at least not here. Then you got 4 what they call bosses, is extra characters: Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and then Bison. It's a very linear, 2 out of 3 rounds. You run through all the characters, and then you have an ending. It's more based off of like, let me play my friend and spend countless hours versus my friend and just run through every character and just play for hours trying to be who's the better person between you and your friend, you and your companion, co-worker, colleague, family member, whoever it was that you played at that time. In the arcade, you must have ran through quarters. Depending on who was the one programming the arcade, you had some at 25 cents, you had some at 50. I've never seen it for 75 cents. Maybe in an arcade somewhere back in like 80, no, not 80, like 93 or something, where somebody was just really greedy and wanted to program that thing for 3 quarters. That's nuts. But I remember my first encounter with the arcade was the rainbow hack, as they called it, because the projectiles went up and down and you can spam the Hadoukens, which was the greatest thing ever. Like seeing that as a kid, it was like throwing a fireball. You went back to school and you're like, oh, let's play Street Fighter, and you and your friend at school, you're throwing Hadoukens at each other, invisible Hadoukens, or somebody was going like this to do Guile's Sonic Boom. I remember that's what I did. I was like 8 or 9, so of course, little kid mentality and stuff. But yeah, I was that age seeing this arcade for the first time and noticing that the fireballs and the projectiles and everything was going up and down, and I couldn't understand why. I thought that was normal, but later on in life, learning that was an actual arcade hack. You can press start in the middle of the round to change your character, which is nuts. Zangief's rotating clothesline could go up in midair, and then you'd come through the bottom of the screen, and then if you grab somebody for the Super Atomic Buster, you just like flew through floors or flights or whatever, and you landed, and it took like more than 65% of the opponent's life. I want to say the Shoryuken and Tiger Uppercut, if you used the light punch, it like took most of the screen. Like it went distance, like he went forward and did it instead of just straight up vertically. Like I couldn't understand that. And Bison Psycho Crusher. You used the light punch and he damn near almost teleported across the screen. It was wild. Like I couldn't understand that. And you could do it in midair. And then, like I was saying, the projectiles, you spam the projectiles, and then get to a point where there was so many projectiles in the screen, the processor couldn't process all the projectiles, so some of them went missing, and it slowed everything down because it was just overworking the processor to probably produce all these projectiles that are on the screen. And I'm not too familiar. I don't remember if you can block in midair, but if you jumped, it was game over. Like you were getting hit, with the Sonic Boom, the Hadoukens, or Sagat's Tiger. But that was my first encounter with it. I played a bunch of teenagers, got my ass royally handed to me with the very little money that I had for candy. I spent it on playing Street Fighter. And then I couldn't look behind me because there was another arcade with a bunch of teenagers playing, and it was Mortal Kombat 1. There was no man. That was a whole other beast that I wasn't even trying to play because I was going to get royally handed to me. But that was my first encounter with the arcade. By that time, maybe like mere weeks or months later, I played it on Super Nintendo, and it was like, okay, I'm safe in my home. I'm playing the computer. I'm not playing a bunch of teenagers. I don't got to worry about projectiles going up and down, which was, I questioned it. I was just like, what the hell, why the projectiles not going up and down? And I thought it was just a different version of the game, which it was, but as a kid, I didn't understand it. It was a hack, Then we had this JAMA, which was like, okay, let me bring the arcade kind of feel home and play. It's not the same because of the button layout, but it's still a joystick and buttons, and you just like set it on the table and just kind of play away. I loved playing Street Fighter 2. I remember I was like 9 when I played it because WrestleMania 9 had just, I guess, aired, you could say. Yeah, we just went through WrestleMania 9. If you're a wrestling fan, you know exactly what happened. That's not going to work for me, brother. And whole ending and everything like that. Wrestling reference for those who know. But, man, Street Fighter to this day is still on and popping. We're at Street Fighter 6. I remember seeing gameplay of it, and you're literally running through the street looking for beef. Well, not purposely looking for beef, but like you're talking to people, and the next thing you know, somebody challenges you, and you gotta square up and throw hands, And it's crazy how it's evolved from from the arcade to what it is now, And then we had so many iterations in between it. We had Street Fighter Alpha, and there's 3 of those. We had Street Fighter 3, we had Street Fighter 4, and it went 3D instead of on a 2D plane. You had Street Fighter EX on PS2. Like, there's just so many different Street Fighters out there. But one thing that stood synonymous that never changed was a Hadouken. And that Hadouken, let me tell you, that movement, that action went to other games. You had it in Mortal Kombat, you had it in Tekken, you had it in Virtua Fighter, you had it in Killer Instinct. Like, that move sequence transcended and went into just fighting games, period. So to say that Street Fighter didn't influence damn near every fighting game after it came out, no, I can't agree with that. But that's my take on this. Amazing game, greatest thing. I'll say my favorite version of it would be Street Fighter Alpha 3. That's my favorite Street Fighter of all time. So if anybody got a Switch out there and want to throw hands, let me know. Put it down in the comments. Throw your Switch, I guess, ID or whatever it is, and maybe we could set something up. I might get my ass kicked. I might beat your ass. I don't know. We'll find out. But yep, that's this week's episode of Retro Game of the Week. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs down. Curse me out in the comments. Say what's good, say what's bad. I don't really listen. Oh, you don't edit it? No, I don't, man. I try to treat it like it's live. One take, and we're good, man. Subscribe, tell a friend, don't tell a friend, whatever you like, man. But I appreciate everything that is done for this video, for these channels, for everything I put out. Got my hat on because this week was Veterans Day weekend. I want to shout out to all the vets, previous and current. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do. It's a pleasure to serve by your side. For what we do in this country. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave you with a little clip. It took me several times to beat this guy. It's not on the arcade. It's on my Super Nintendo because, as you saw, some of the clip that I have is from the 1-Up arcade that I do own. But man, I don't remember Bison being this hard. And that's on the regular difficulty. Maybe it's because it's been so long that I played. But enjoy. Peace.